big news. I don't know if you heard, but if you were planning on joining Disneyland for their big 65th anniversary as they reopen things in a phased capacity starting July 17th, well, you are out of luck. As it turns out, Disneyland has officially canceled that return date. It is shocking and surprising, I think, to some. To others, it might be a welcomed cancellation. Disneyland has put out the following statement saying, "We previously announced a proposed phased reopening of our theme parks for July 17th pending government approvals. We developed enhanced health and safety protocols for both cast and guests at Shanghai Disney Resort, Hong Kong Disneyland Resort, and Walt Disney World Resort that have been approved, allowing us to reopen in a responsible manner and bring our cast members back to work. The state of California has now indicated that it will not issue theme park reopening guidelines until sometime after July 4th, given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work. Back to work and restart our business. Rather, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and resort hotels until we receive approval from government officials. Once we have a clearer understanding of when guidelines will be released, we expect to be able to communicate a reopening date." Tyler, we called this the last time we spoke when Downtown Disney had been given the green light to reopen July 9th, which is still happening apparently. They were given the go-ahead. Theme parks were not. Now we're hearing from the governor of the state of California. He's praising Disney
Sure.
for pulling back, for delaying their opening, when it sounds like this was the state's doing all along.
I think so.
So was this the state's doing? Did Disney suddenly care more? What's going on here?
I think it's the state's doing, but I think that the governor is trying to be graceful enough to give them like some props to keep up that relationship, right? Like I think that it can definitely be one of those things where the government doesn't want this to happen, and Disney is being respectful and saying, okay, you don't want it to happen, we won't let it happen. And then, you're going to be gracious to the people that you are, basically taking away their business, So, I mean, but that needs to happen. I think it needs to happen. And from my perspective, I know you have a lot of cast member friends, and we have some cast member friends. From my perspective, pretty much every one of my friends that worked at Disneyland didn't want to go back yet. So I think it's a good thing, personally. And I want cast members to feel safe, and I want guests to be safe. So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, a lot of mixed emotions when it comes to this news. Certainly something that I don't think anybody imagined Disney backing off of, especially as we were getting so much closer to July. Garrett, tell me, the Disney Executive Chairman Bob Iger, he's on the California Economic Reopening Task Force. How do you think this miscalculation occurred? The guy is on the reopening task force. How did something like this happen?
With a little bit of faith, trust, and pixie dust, I guess. No, I think everything was going ahead, but then with the outbreak of cases and everything, and not everyone following rules and whatnot, just a health scare of a larger magnitude than what it's been would definitely slow things down. I'm sure Bob Iger was trying to push, but then he was like, you know what, this could only get worse. So I think it might have just been a small oversight, or maybe it was just a complete blindside hit. But it's tragic that it's not opening. But on the other side, it's good because the parks will be delayed, but it's for the safety of everyone. And like I always say, Disney's number one concern is the safety of everyone. So I think delaying it for everyone's safety, you know what, Disney knows what they're doing, and I will keep saying that.
They didn't make this choice, though.
Yeah.
I know.
They were going to go forward. So I don't know how they were caring much about safety, to be honest with you. But
I don't know. Maybe this was a move by Junior to make Iger look bad. It could be
I can see it.
It could be a giant dramatic plot to change the game. I don't know, but
so this is something that we've seen more and more cast member unions come forward and share certainly their thoughts when it comes to negotiations with the company, and how the company is going to keep them safe, how the company is going to do more to help protect them when Disneyland officially reopens. And what I find very interesting also is that The day that this got announced originally, that things were going to be reopening on July 17th, many of the unions didn't even know it was about to happen. In fact, there were some unions that day were even talking via live stream to their union members saying, we don't know when Disney's going to return. However, we are talking about some things that could potentially be put into effect to help this and help all of you get back to work safely. However, nothing had been agreed to, and they already announced the date. So it does make you kind of question whether or not all of the best interests were in mind going into this reopening date, when you have unions that were saying, well, wait a minute, you didn't even tell us when things were opening to begin with. You told the public before you told us. What's happening here? So right now, as a matter of fact, as of this broadcast day, there are unions protesting on the other side, the backside of the Disneyland Resort, Disneyland Drive side, as we call it, who are protesting the safety requirements that the unions have put forward not being accepted by the Disneyland Resort. Now, we have understood that over 20 unions have accepted the Disney offer for return to work and for the safety measures in place, but there are a few unions apparently that are still not content with the idea. Katrina, now that the phased reopening of the parks has been officially delayed, do you feel like we're going to see a reopening date by the end of July at this point?
I don't think so. I think I'm really happy that they delayed it. Like we've all talked about it multiple times. I was like, there's no way they're gonna open the park by July. My guess, if they're really trying to push it, I mean, again, we had a spike in COVID cases in LA, so I feel like they kind of have to look at that as well. And then my guess is probably by September, because if they were supposed to have people go back by the beginning of July to open by July 17th. Then that's like give or take like 2 weeks or so. And if they still don't even know, or, if they don't even know when their projected opening is because unions aren't really happy with the safety measures Disney's doing yet, I feel like they might try to go back to start training by the end of July. So maybe try to open up by the end of August, beginning of September is like my guess.
So I feel like originally when we were discussing potential reopening timelines for Disneyland, if I recall correctly, we were all sort of going that route more so of like
September.
Yeah, late August, September, right?
Yeah.
So coincidentally, they're being forced into a situation like this. We will see what happens when it comes to Disneyland's official reopening. Right now, delayed, July 17th, not happening after all. However, Downtown Disney will be online July the 9th. It does sound like even though two hotels, Paradise Pier Hotel and Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, have been approved for reopening on the dates that they had requested for July 23rd, does not sound like they are going to move forward with the hotels at this point.
It's not really a point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I was saying to you guys, like, it would be cool to be at Grand California and get a theme park view and see it completely empty.
Right.
It'd be really cool and kind of eerie. But even then, there's not a lot of money for them to, what are they going to do? Like, have a couple, you can't even have the bars open, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can't have the bars open. There's like 2 restaurants, so you can't really have those open either. So what's the point?
Yeah, and if they opened, I feel like they would have to actually be at a pretty discounted rate. Because I would
Not
just stay there if
$700 a
there's no
night.
park. And so, like, yeah, if they're gonna charge you, $600 at Grand Californian, then there better be a freaking theme park to go to. You know what I mean? Like,
You got a downtown Disney. It's
Yeah.
good enough, right?
oh sure, yeah, you can spend all day there, just eat at every restaurant, and then feel like death at the end of the day.
That's it. Yep. All right. Roll me on out.
I hear they have nice bowling, there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
you could go bowling.
Super
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
You can do that all day.
Can never find lanes open.
Yeah, it's tough to wiggle your way into any sort of the recreational opportunities in downtown Disney. That's for sure. Is there sarcasm in the air? I can't. Is that what I smell? I don't know.
Even bowling sounds gross to me right now. Like, and you're eating food at the same time, so you're like shoveling your face with burgers and then going back to your bowling ball. Like, I don't know. I just think that
That's how the lanes get greasy.
Eat
Yeah,
my nachos.
yeah,
Shove those fingers into the holes.
exactly. Get those cheese fries.
Off you go. Disneyland has so much to offer outside of those theme parks, don't they? Well, we will certainly see when the parks determine another date, as we are all waiting in, a lot of interest, a lot of excitement, anticipating when those official dates might come forward.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.